Yes. I'm just wondering if you'd like to go down on a list saying you're willing to take the refugees into your home.
Of course not. Only problem is I rent.
You rent?
Yeah.
Maybe an issue?
Yeah.
Would you be interested in going on a list of people that's actually willing to adopt a refugee and take them into your home?
No, I'm sorry, I can't.
You can't take one?
I don't have
You don't have the space? Jim, just because you've got that refugee as well here, yeah. I'm just wondering if you'd like to go on a list of people that's willing to actually adopt a refugee and take them into your home?
Well, if I had any space, I would.
If you had any space.
It wouldn't be a nice place to bring them.
Excuse me, sir. Would you be willing to adopt a refugee?
I would be willing, yeah, if I had the space.
If you had the space?
Yeah.
So, where should we put them then?
Where should we put them?
Yeah.
Would
you be willing to have a refugee in your home?
Yes, if I had room.
If you had room, it's funny that.
Yeah.
Alright, smashing. Excuse me, my love, will you go on my list of people that's willing to adopt a refugee?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Any reason in particular?
I don't. What sort of refugee are you talking about?
Thank you, love.
Yes, well, many of these protesters just love to be protesters, right? They just love to be offended. They don't actually want to do anything like what they're protesting about, right? Crazy world we live in, strange realm. So welcome back, everyone. My name's Campbell. This is Autodidactic. And of course, autodidactic means to be self-educated. And it's good to be self-educated because if we're not, the only choice we have left is to believe what other people tell us or to believe what's on the screen in front of us, right? All these crazy, crazy videos coming out. So let's delve in and try and work out what is really going on here in this strange realm we find ourselves in.
What is that thing there? Jesus Christ, what is that? What is that? Yeah. Is that really necessary?
I mean, what is it?
Yeah.
No, what is it?
Is that some kind of security?
We don't talk about our security protocols.
Crazy, right? Robot dog. I mean, that looked real. You know, we can't verify that anything's real anymore, right? But that looked real. Anyone know how to make a handheld EMP? We might need someone to fry all these robot dogs.
Today I'm going to show you how expensive drugstore products are in Germany. Starting out with shower gel for 55 cents, deodorant for 60 cents, toothpaste for 65 cents. Oh my god, this is crazy. Period pads for 1.95. Shampoo for 65 cents. I always love to show this. 10 rolls of toilet paper for 4.95. You can find a toothbrush for 75 cents, 4 hand towels for 2.95, makeup remover for 95 cents, and it's perfume free. Hand soap for 65 cents. It's so insane. Everything is so cheap here. 85 pieces of diapers, 10.75. Baby formula for 5.25. Baby food is 1.65. And also if you want fruit, it's 95 cents. It's actually affordable to have children in Germany. Hairspray for 2.95. You can go blonde for 1.95 or brown for 1.95. This one's super cheap. Detergent for 1.95. Dry shampoo for 1.95. Face wash for 1.95. Also face cream for 1.95. 1.95 is a special number here. Cheapest hair mousse, 1.15. Makeup removing pads for 95 cents. Also, here's a cute section. If you buy something for someone, you can just pack it here for free. Shaver for 3.45. Let me know in the comments, do you think it's cheap or expensive to buy drugstore products in Germany?
Definitely cheap. Oh my God. So is anyone here from Germany? And is that cheap because the government subsidized certain products, like essential products? I don't know. Is all of Germany that cheap? Does anyone know? Let me know. And how does it compare to where you are? Leave me a comment because in Australia, everything is like 10 times that price at least, right?
In Australia, we have serious challenges to solve, and we need serious people to solve them. I promise. Unfortunately, Tony Abbott is not the least bit interested in fixing anything. He's only interested in two things: making Australians afraid of it and telling them who's to blame for it.
Wow, All the world is a stage, right? It's all scripted, guys. We've seen, clips like this before, but they're still doing it. It's a script and they're all actors, and that's why we definitely shouldn't take it too seriously and don't let it affect our lives. This is the whole thing of we need to stop this scrolling addiction that many people have, and they call it doom scrolling now. And so definitely spend time in the 3D world. Get out there and do things that you love, that you're passionate about. I make these videos, one, because it's my job at the moment. Just kind of ended up here, right? Um, but two, it's really to show that everything that we're being shown, it's all propaganda. Just trying to help people see through the cracks of this matrix, right? This great show that we're in that is clearly showing cracks and starting to crumble.
I'm sick and tired of everyone saying, ooh, China is living in the future. I'm like, bro, it's just some buildings with alien.
They didn't go broke, they got deleted. In China, tens of thousands of young people are suddenly homeless, not because of money, but because the system erased them.
Imagine a society where everything you do, everything you say, and everything you buy is controlled and evaluated by the authorities. This is what the Chinese Communist Party calls social credit.
By using the mechanism of social credit, we'll be able to establish a blacklist of people and create a system of punishment that will be based on a scientific theory. These punishments will serve as a whip to rebuild moral values. Our society needs it.
The country's social credit system decides who's trustworthy. But if you're blacklisted, it's game over. Your WeChat Pay stops working, you can't receive your salary, can't buy food, can't even book a train ticket. It's like being alive, but digitally. Many are now sleeping in the streets, cut off from everything. Jobs, housing, even communication. All because one app, one algorithm decided they don't belong.
It's not science fiction. In China, it's a reality. Then there's the public shaming. Photo galleries of blacklisted citizens. There's even an app that shows who around you is in debt.
They're not criminals. They didn't steal, cheat, or harm anyone. They just fell too low on a score and vanished from the digital world. Critics say it's a glimpse into the future, where technology doesn't just track your life, it controls it. So ask yourself, if your entire life depended on your digital reputation, how long before you get deleted?
Yes, how long before you would be deleted? I mean, I'd probably be gone at the start, right? Yeah, a few clips of China. So on one hand, we've got all this technology ever, and there's quite a few clips coming out about all this tech, how advanced they are in China. And on the other hand, they got social credit systems, and people, it looks like, are now sleeping on the street because they've been locked out of being able to rent, travel, work, all this kind of stuff. The good and the bad, right? And it's a really good example of how the elites, right, the system works, is it always promises that all these things, all these innovations will be to make our lives better. But every time, 100% of the time, they turn out to make our lives worse. Let me know if I'm wrong, or let me know your opinion in the comments.
Greenwood Cemetery, Brooklyn, 1868. Come on, what was going on up here? Come on, make it make sense. What is going on here? What is going on here? This can't be serious, right? We never questioned this. What is going on here? Make it make sense. Look at this thing. Does this make sense? With the door and the cobras? Colonel Abraham Why more characters? Gotta have a griffin. No, it's an eagle. He was a soldier. Yeah, he fought Colonel Bighorn and Custard. Burnham. What does that symbol mean? Who is this? Is that a real bird on top? You got him. You got her. And you got these people. Let's get into it.
What do you think? Is that a cemetery, an old cemetery, like all those structures, or is it maybe something else that's been half buried and renamed? Because that entrance gate was clearly an old world, right? Had all the features, all the cymatic shapes in there and everything. And then, yeah, a cemetery filled with obelisks and these statues that really, that's, I don't know what the date was, 1800s, I think. They were really building all this stuff for cemeteries back then. Who are all these people? And that pyramid was very Egyptian, right? Like it had the flying disc above the door there with the snakes on it, had the griffins. What do you think all this is? Is it remnants from the old world that's been rebranded as a cemetery? Because once they do that, you can't go digging around, right? You can't walk into these crypts and things and do, research on what they actually are. It's all off limits, which is what they love to do, right? They use golf courses a lot for that as well, and national parks to stop people digging. But anyway, let me know. What do you think? What is it? Old or cemetery or old world cover up?
I think all our society is run by insane people for insane objectives. And I think that's what I sussed when I was 16 and 12, way down the line. I think we're being run by maniacs for maniacal ends,
Correct? What do you think?
I think no one made a bigger impact, and I know this personally from my grandfather announcing his death. John Lennon, imagine all the people.
My model of business is the Beatles.
Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, he was a huge Beatles fan. He named his company Apple, the same name the Beatles gave theirs.
Anyway now.
You never can be anything else
We
but
are
the Beatles.
The Beatles, that's what we are. We're also Apple as well, see. They're like Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Brown.
But we're dissatisfied because the current state didn't live up to their ideals. Without death, there would be very little progress.
Well, Steve Jobs, John Lennon, reimagined, right? They definitely look the same, right? There's a lot of similarities, a lot of joining things, the whole Apple angle. What do you think? Let me know. And what do you think in general about this whole clone, doppelganger, actors playing different role kind of thing? All these famous people, these people that are put up in front of us basically to lead us and to sway us in our opinion. They all seem to be changing their look. They seem to have double roles. A lot of them are now reverse aging. There's all this weird stuff going on, right? What do you think is actually happening? I would love to know. Please leave me a comment.
A machine called a cloudbuster to point at the sky. In 1985, Kate Bush made a song called Cloud Busting. In this track, she mentions orgone energy. In the music video, they're pointing a cloudbuster at the sky, clearing the sky of clouds, as well as making it rain. If that's not crazy enough, at the end of the music video, the male protagonist gets his lab get raided by government agents who destroy his work and arrest him. The lyrics further describes the Elder Reich's abrupt arrest.
This organoid cloudbuster isn't just decor, it's a tower of layered physics and harmony. Inside, quartz crystals are sealed in resin and natural dielectric. As resin cures, it gently compresses the quartz, activating the piezoelectric effect, a process where the crystal generates subtle electric potentials under pressure. Copper coils and pipes amplify this field, helping organize surrounding ions in the air. According to researcher Stephen J. Smith, water vapor and copper together can create conditions where energy moves more freely through the atmosphere, restoring balance to how moisture and charge interact. Each piece is handcrafted to act as a grounding bridge between earth and sky, turning chaotic static into calm order. The result? A piece that feels alive, resonant, and quietly powerful wherever it stands, built with copper, quartz, and intention. It works through natural dielectric and piezoelectric properties, inspired by atmospheric harmony and water's electric nature. Bring one to your space and feel how clarity expands in the air around you.
So many people ask about weather modification solutions, and this is a very simple setup. This is a piece of rebar with a copper pipe, and what I do is I pour water in the copper pipe. I let it pool right here, and what you're going to notice is above me, completely clear. That's the magic of a cloudbuster. That's really cool. But look at clouds all over the other place, and then clouds all over here. But just a simple setup. You could put multiple copper pipes into the ground, fill them with water, let them pool, and watch what happens with your skies. Magic. And if people want to learn more about this, look up the work of Trevor James Constable and Wilhelm Reich. Enjoy.
Cloud busting. Have you tried it? Have you got one? Let me know and let me know what your results were. But this is the kind of tech I think that we need to develop more. I mean, I've got quite a bit of, orgonite and all that kind of stuff around me. And, this to me, this is the tech going into the new world, right? All the tech that we've been given, all this stuff, from the system, it just gives off radiation and makes us sick. It's not good for us. And orgonite's been proven, right, to smooth out the energy, to nullify bad EMFs and different radiation. So, electromagnetic radiation. Um, so yeah, it's good stuff. Like, do you make it? Do you have any? What effects have you noticed from it? I'd really love to know.
It was not the Great Flood, but the 1600s experienced enough water to cover railroad tracks that had to be dug out in the 1800s. Enough water that would take over 800 ships and pull them together in a cluster in San Francisco Bay. The remnants burned in 1851. Enough water in the 1600s to bury pyramids in South America and in Mexico. It was enough water to take an entire island and pull it back to the mainland. It was enough water to make a land with no Great Lakes into a land of Great Lakes. The evidence is all around us in paintings, maps, testimony, but you will not find this 16th century event in any history book.
The mud flood, there's evidence all around us for this. Mainly, the sunken buildings, right? Buildings with windows and whole levels underground. You just don't build buildings like that, right? They've clearly been flooded at some point. Especially when you look into it, if you haven't, many of these lower levels, well, all of the lower levels actually, have doors and windows with glass in them underground. But the 1600s, I put the mud flood more the sort of mid to late 1700s. I could be wrong though, but when do you think the mud flood happened? And do you think that the mud flood is the same as the Great Flood that we hear a lot about? Leave me a comment.
What you're seeing is the absolute latest in humanoid robots. This is the Figure 3. And I gotta be honest, robot development is officially starting to feel a little bit like Black Mirror. Figure 3 is 5'8", 134 pounds, and engineered to think and act like a human. Now this version was specifically designed for in-home use. So it can do laundry, wash dishes, serve drinks, deliver packages. It even charges wirelessly through its feet. It kind of just stands creepily on that charging pad until it wakes up and starts doing more chores. Now 12,000 people are gonna have one of these in their home in the next 12 months. 100,000 people will have one in the next 4 years. It's pretty wild. But as cool as it looks, the most interesting part about this is not the robot itself. The most interesting part is Figure's AI training system called Helix. Every Figure robot has a bunch of cameras and sensors in its face and both of its hands. So as it does more tasks, it's watching and learning from the world around it. But the learning isn't just to help the one robot doing it. The skills are feeding back to the global AI system, which automatically upskills the entire robot fleet. And you can see where this is going. Just like ChatGPT gets better the more people that use it, the more robots that do stuff in the world, the faster they all get smarter. What you're watching are the very early innings of another massive tech supercycle. And Black Mirror or not, we are officially entering the beginning of the robot age.
Well, we have been warned in movies for decades about the problems with introducing robots, especially AI robots, right? Or robots that can think or intelligent. Not that I think we have got that technology, but would you get one? What do you think about all this? I mean, to me, this is, I think robots can have their use, right, as a tool, going into toxic places, right, to do things, going to fires, right? They can make fireproof robots and go and help people. Disaster work, deep water dive, all this kind of stuff where it's dangerous for humans. But as long as they're used as tools, the problem with making them humanoid is that people are going to start seeing them as humans. And mark my words, people will start protesting about robot rights. And we've also seen this in movies, right? But I guess the biggest question is that where you're going? We're going through a lot of changes in the world at the moment. And, after the last 5 years, I've looked at the world, I've looked at a lot of people, and what I see is a division happening, a split. I don't think we're all going to the same place, right? We're on different levels. I think that some of us are going to a higher vibration, and which just means we'll be able to interact with higher vibrations, right? And the lower ones will fall away. And a lot of people are clearly going into 15-minute cities, right? With the Jabberwockies and the robots running around, where you'll be happy but own nothing. So, but let me know your thoughts. Where are you going? And do you see a split coming? Is that what you think is going to happen? Because I know a lot of people think that the end of the world's coming and it's Armageddon and all this kind of stuff. But in my opinion, that's all engineered prophecy. That's them trying to get us to create the world that they want. So don't be fooled.
Brazil just made an absolute boss move in UFO transparency and dropped the receipts on nearly 900 UFO cases. This is huge. So on May 31st, Brazil's National Archives released 893 UFO cases, to be exact, to the public. And we're talking about sightings from 1952 all the way up to 2023, complete with photos, audio recordings, witness drawings, detailed official reports. The files were originally set to drop on June 13th, but they went live early with no warning. And there's some seriously amazing stuff inside. So I've only cracked into it just a touch, and already it's mind-blowing. It talks about cases like the 1977 Colares incident, where locals were reportedly injured by beams of light coming from low-flying UFOs it was so intense that the Brazilian military launched Operacio Prato, Operation Saucer, to investigate. There's also the 1986 Night of the UFOs, where 21 objects were spotted across southern Brazil, tracked on radar and chased by Air Force jets. So if you want to check it out yourself, there's a website you can go to. I'll list it right here. You'll need to register, but the docs are public. A lot of it's in Portuguese, but you can get it translated. Brazil just raised the bar. It's your move, Pentagon. Follow for more, because I'm going to be cracking into this.
Yeah, it's your move, Pentagon, because it's a big game. It's a big game, right? I mean, Brazil's, in South America has been in this UFO thing for the last year, right? There was that what was it? The something sphere landed in Brazil. There was that weird rock potato thing with that creature growing out of it, apparently, and all these other, sightings and stuff. And then, of course, when you look into the ancient history of Brazil and South America in general, there's a lot of ties. They make a lot of ties to extraterrestrials, right? Because they can't tell us that there have been previous civilizations that have been much more technically advanced and harmonious than the one we're in, right? Because then they lose their power. Then people will go, well, what are we doing here? Right? We're not going to put up with this crap anymore because we've already been much better than this. So they can't let that secret out, right? So it all has to be aliens from other worlds, from outer space, right? And other fairy tales.
What is an NPC?
You don't know this meme?
Is that a Scientology thing?
No, non-player character.
Non-player character.
What, you don't know about this? Do I get to tell you the NPC meme?
Yes.
This is the most important meme of our lifetime.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Breaking it down as quickly as possible. I'm gonna show my age.
Okay.
When we were younger, we played games like Final Fantasy and Ultima, right? Mm-hmm. And in those games, you go to like the armor store or the weapon store, and you buy your sword or you buy your armor.
Right.
There's a guy running that store within the game.
Yes.
He does not exist outside of that store.
Right.
That character, all he does is buy armor and sell armor. He doesn't have a wife, he doesn't have a kid. You go there at midnight, he's there. You go there at 8 a.m., he's there.
Right.
He's the player characters you're playing. He's the non-player character. And the point this meme makes is the vast majority of humans are non-player characters. They have no mind outside their programming. Like, you have no mind. You're just repeating what has been programmed to you in your script. And as soon as you mention certain terms, there's just a knee-jerk speech that they give. And once you identify it, it's like the Matrix. Like, you see Agent Smith everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes, I know it was Joe Rogan. That's don't shoot the messenger. But I like the NPC, the explanation, because when you talk about NPCs, most people have the concept that they are like holograms, right? That they don't actually exist. They're not real men and women, right? Like us. And that's, to me, is a dangerous thought, right? That's seeing them as less. So, and then you get into issues of, would you treat them as less, right? But what he basically said was, look, it's just men and women like us, but that are stuck in the program. All they do is repeat the program. They go to work day in, day out. They spend their money on, fashion, on looking right, on, having the right things, saying the right things. It's all external. It's all a facade. It's all their persona that they live through, and they don't know who they are. So that makes them an NPC. And so I like that explanation much better. Much better than, there's only so many real men and women down here, and all the rest is just projected holograms or whatever. I just think that kind of thinking can get dangerous. But let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Are you an NPC? Are you married to one? Do you know any? Let me know.
Britons, patriots, my friends. Today, I call upon all of you to invoke the help of your country's patron saint, St. George. Legend holds that St. George fought against a dragon that was demanding human sacrifice. He fought a battle of good versus evil. And today, hundreds of years later, we are still fighting that very same fight. We are fighting a fight of truth versus lies, of freedom versus tyranny, and of light versus dark. And just 3 days ago, one of our bravest warriors lost his life fighting it. So today, we also fight for him. We fight for Charlie Kirk. We fight for our nations. We fight for our children. Ladies and gentlemen, St. George's shields became your very flag. And now, your flag has to become a shield once again Because there is nothing that today's dragon fears more than that. And that dragon resides at 10 Downing Street. We are witnessing the rape, replacement, and murder of our people. But I am here today to tell you, no more. Because when I look at you, when I look at this sea of flags, I know that it is far from over for us. Both we, the Dutch, and you, the English, we have mastered the seas. We have conquered the world. And that same spirit of our ancestors still runs through our veins to this day. We are the sons and daughters of the greatest nations on earth. If anyone can get their countries back, it is us. Change is possible. Remigration is possible, and it is up to us to make it happen. We are Generation Remigration. We will not back down. We will not be silenced. And by the grace of God, we will claim our countries back.
Well, controversial. But I really would like to hear your thoughts on that one. Bit random, Charlie Kirk popping up in the middle there, but you know, Charlie's been popping up everywhere recently, hasn't he? But what are your thoughts on this? I'd like to know, as a white person, a white supreme pizza, um, no, we're not allowed to talk about being proud to be white. We're not really, it's not kosher, right? Like they don't want us standing up for ourselves. They don't want us being proud of our countries. They don't want us holding on to our culture. And this is so apparent all through Europe and Australia as well. It's definitely happening here. So what are your thoughts on this? I know there's, people from all backgrounds and countries and cultures watching these videos. So I would like to know, what are your thoughts on this? Because we need to start talking about this, right? Because this is the main problem. There's no discussion allowed. And of course we have the elites, these politicians, these leaders, right? So-called leaders, who just push these agendas. They don't care what we want, the people. They don't listen to us because they don't work for us, right? They work for corporations. So clearly we've got to get rid of all that. But what do you think about this whole situation? The whole immigration, mass immigration is really what it is. Immigration to the point where it is destroying the lives of the native people, right, of those countries. It's a big topic, but it definitely needs to be addressed. So please leave me your comments.
Let me get this straight. You can be proud to be black, proud to be Asian, proud to be Indian, proud to be Jewish, but if you're proud to be white, you're a racist? Well, isn't that racism? And don't get on my ass about it. It's a fair fucking question. Because before we fix something that needs fixing, we should be able to be very clear on what the fuck we're fixing. And don't get it twisted. I don't give a fuck where you're from. I don't give a fuck what colour you are. I care about your character. I care if you're solid, good people, good values. I think that's all that should matter. We should all be held to the same standard, valued for what we produce, held to the same rules, judged by how we treat people. But that's not how it is. Some people get special treatment. Their pain gets prioritised. Their actions get excused because we sympathise for what happened to their people in past generations. And that's what creates division. That's what creates inequality. That's what breeds real racism.
Well, again, let me know your thoughts on that. Again, like I'm clearly white. I've got blue eyes. My hair's brown now, but it was blonde when I was young. Both my boys, blonde hair, blue eyes. Their mother, blonde hair, blue eyes. So why aren't we, supposed to be proud of ourselves and our heritage and all this kind of stuff? And when it comes to the past and the whole slavery question, the word slave comes from Slavic, white people. And my ancestors were sent here as convicts, which are slaves. So this is not, a culture thing, a color thing, anything like that. It's an us and them thing. The Allites have never been slaves. They control these slave trades and cause all the division and confusion. And unfortunately, too many people are focused on the story and they believe that it is their neighbor, all right, and their fellow men and women that are the problem, when clearly it's not. And that's the only reason that these Allites get to stay in power, right? It's the old magician's trick. Look over here, right? Not at the hand in front of you, right? They're doing something behind their back, right? So we really need to come together and understand that, yeah, your fellow men and women aren't your enemy. And again, this comes back to the question of, where are you going? Right, there's clearly big changes going on in the world at the moment. We see it everywhere. The systems are collapsing, right? They're geoengineering prophecy that they're trying to push. They're really trying to control our frequency and our thoughts. And if you let them do that, you'll probably end up in a 15-minute city. Or if you are open and aware and you're, into discovering more about yourself and your fellow men and women, then you're going to end up on a higher, more positive frequency. Because I really do strongly believe that there's a split happening right now. I mean, you can tell it. There's some people that you literally can't even talk to. There's a split in frequency, and we're not all going to the same place. So all they want is our attention. So I would just say choose well where you put your attention.
Whoa!
Well, we did hit a few harder topics today, so I thought I'd bring it back a bit, right? End the video a bit more calming and relaxing. But yeah, thanks for spending some time with me. Please do leave me your comments on what we've seen today. I'd really love to know what's going on in your mind, how you see all this change and are you buying into it? What steps are you taking to create the future you want? That's what we really need to focus on. But as I said, thanks for spending some time with me. Hope you enjoyed that. Do give me a like and subscribe if you like this content. Share it around. Definitely leave me a comment and stay awesome. And I'll talk to you all on the next upload. Bye for now.
See if they like music.